Hello, it's MG Caravans here. We're going to be showing you the workings on the 2022 Basecamp. This particular model we have here is a Basecamp 4. There are 3 models in the range, the 2, the 4 and the 6. All of the workings, controls are going to be the same. Switches might be in various locations. Beds are going to be slightly different, but the general workings are going to be the same. So we're going to start in the front locker here. So in the front locker you've got a bulkhead regulator for the gas. There's a space for 2 gas bottles here, but in this model we've only got 1. So you've got propane gas tail into the bottle, on and off at the top of the gas bottle. So anti-clockwise to open if you follow the arrows, clockwise to close, which will switch it off. So when you're travelling you want to make sure it's off, so all the way, and when you're changing the bottle you want to make sure it's completely off. The regulator itself you don't need to do anything with, you just need to make sure this pin at the front of the regulator is flush as it is now. If it's poking out, the gas is just it's not gonna work. So you want to make sure that that pin is flush. Just push it back in if it's popped out, and that's just a crash sensor that will shut off the gas. You've got a spare wheel in the front here. There's also the PDI pack, which has got mains lead in there. You've got your shower hose. You've also got corner steady winder in there and wheel wrench. To close the gas locker, pull the gas locker lid down and then rotate this handle clockwise and then push the handle in. It does this because it locks in 3 places. So to lock the handle in place, just use your key, turn it, and the handle won't pop out. Undo it, you can pull the handle out, turn it, and pull the lid open. This particular model's got ATC fitted, which isn't standard. The workings of the hitch, hooking up, handbrake, everything like that we go through in person. Onto the offside of the Caravan, we've got water inlet here. So this is the filler pipe you get. As you can see, the pipe does curl up. So what you want to do is stretch that out. Some people fit a bit of rigid pipe on there to keep it straight, just so it hits the bottom of your aqua roll. To connect the water inlet into the side of the van, you've got a trigger, so you push your hose into the side and it will click on. With the flap on here, you don't want to leave it like that because it will constantly bang if there's a bit of wind. So in the upright position, that will hold. So it says water intake. On this one, the one next door has a picture of a shower, so that's your external shower. It's got a similar fitting with a trigger, with just a trigger on the actual spray head of the hose. Next door is the mains point, so the mains inlet, so your mains lead plugs in here, flap just goes through, so the lid can shut down like so. And you've also got an external satellite point here, so you can plug that into, there's plug-in satellite on a site, or if you've got a satellite on a tripod, something like that. Towards the back, got the flue for the water heater. You don't need to do anything with that, just make sure that there's nothing blocking or in front of it. We've got the toilet cassette and toilet fill up. So we'll pull this tube round. This is how you fill up the flush for the toilet. So fill this with water in here, just till you can see the level. And you also want to put pink chemical in there. So you get samples of both the pink and blue. The blue goes in the cassette, pink goes in the flush. There is a glass tube here that will tell you how full it is. You want to make sure that that's drained down in the winter, just to prevent any frost damage. You can pull this tube out, so start at the bottom, pull it out and drain it by just tipping it away like that, and that will drain that tank. And then make sure you just put it in properly when you're done draining it. You want to make sure it's drained in transit as well. So to remove the cassette when it's full, you've got a clip at the bottom. That will release the cassette, pull it out. And then what you have here, this is a small funnel to help you fill up your flush without spilling it. So that just sits there. Pull the cassette out all the way. You've got your slider mechanism here. So when you push the cassette in, this automatically comes back, and that's what you see when you look down the toilet. To manually open it when it's out, turn this so you can get in there and really give it a good clean. So that will close it back up. Pull it out all the way, and then you empty the cassette using the tube at the end, which does have a cap for it. So pull that out and then empty it in the disposal point. When you're putting it back in, just make sure it clips down. There is a sensor in there that will tell you when the cassette's full, so you want to make sure that you wash out the cassette regularly to stop that sensor from getting blocked. Underneath here, you've got another flue. That's an exhaust. It does blow out hot air, so you want to make sure that nothing that can melt is left in front of that. Further back, you've got two outlets here. So one is for the shower and sink waste in the washroom, and one is for the kitchen waste. So that's 28.5 mil. You want two connections and a wire piece into your waste master. So in winter, and then also when you're going along, you want to make sure that those are closed. And then in the winter, that's good because that prevents mice from getting in the pipes and chewing the pipes. We've got the back of the van. We'll go round to the near side. We've got an external mains point here. And then we've also got the external barbecue point. And that point there runs off the gas in the front locker. We've also got your fridge vents. You don't need to do anything with these, just make sure nothing's put in front of them. So that is the external on the Basecamp. We'll run through the inside and show you how everything works in there. We're on the inside of the Basecamp now, and we're going to run through the internal workings. We're going to start in this wardrobe. So in here you've got your main PSU. So you've got your power supply unit here. This black switch is the system shutdown switch. So when that switch is up, everything is off in the caravan. So all the lights will be off. The only thing that will still run is the solar panel, which is the regulator there, will still charge the battery. So you can see that currently the charge status of the battery here is fully charged, and then we've got panel output, which means that there is power coming from the solar panel to the battery. So when in storage, you want to make sure that that switch is off, just to prevent any drain on the battery. You've got a light there that will tell you if there's reverse polarity when you plugged into the mains. Charger switch and heating and hot water switch. So these are both the isolation switches for the charger and the heating and hot water on electric. So you can switch both of those on. We've got, when you switch that power button, you'll get two beeps. You've got fuses and your mains RCD here. You lift up this panel here. This will expose the heating system. So you've got in here, you've got two isolators, one for the space heater, one for the water heater. Your rail heater here, your water heater, onboard pump, surge damper, and then down here you've got a yellow tap, which if I put through here, you can see, yellow tap, you see it's in the upright position at the moment. That's to drain the water. So if we want to use water in the van, we turn it that way, so it's facing sideways, and that's closed the system so you can bleed your water through and get water in the van. In the winter, and when you're done using the van, and after every trip, you want to put it in the upright position, open all the taps, and that will drain all of the water out of the system to prevent any frost damage, give you fresh water every time. Okay, so you've also got in there, you've got gas valves as well, which tells you what they're for on that label. You can go to your main panel and start switching everything on. So we've got power button here. So that'll power up the van. You'll see that the lights have come on. To switch on all of the lights, press this button here. Once it's on here, they are all individually switched. So you can switch them off singly. So like this one here, switch on it. This button gives you the level of your battery. So currently looking at 12.5 volts. You'll see here that it shows we've got a battery on board. We're not connected to the mains and we're not connected to a car. You've got the pump switch, so press that, your pump will run. You'll start being able to bleed the water through the system. Awning light, which switches on that external light there. So nice and easy to use. You can actually press that button to get up your leisure battery voltage, and then also if you're connected to the car battery voltage. So once that's switched on there, we'll start bleeding the water through. So hot and cold, wait until it comes through constant, so it will gurgle and splutter to start with. Don't switch your heating on until you've bled that water through properly. So with the heating, you've got water heating at the top, so press this button. So we've got off at the moment, water heating on gas and 1 kilowatt of electric, gas and 2 kilowatt of electric, or off. So they're your settings. There's no temperature control. It is literally just 1 kilowatt of electric, 2 kilowatt of electric, gas and 1 kilowatt of electric, gas and 2 kilowatt of electric. So obviously mixing gas and electric will get the water hot quicker. So don't switch that on unless you've got your water running through and you've bled the water system through. Heating wise, so we've got off, same sort of setting. So you've got off 1 kilowatt of electric, 2 kilowatt of electric, 3 kilowatts of electric, gas, and that's it. There's no mixture of gas and electric on the heating side. So you want to sort of gauge your kilowatts of electric on the ampage of the site and what you've got running. So if it's too high, it might trip. And then we can change the temperature. So you've got frost setting, night setting, and then you've got all the way to max. So we'll switch that off. In the kitchen area, you've got your sink, storage below there, 3-burner hob. So to light, just push down, it will automatically ignite, and then leave, and then adjust the temperature. So it's a bit like a gas hob at home. And then you've got a duplex grill and oven. So same, we've got a ignition on the front for this one, and then similar to at home. Storage drawers, storage there. Underneath the front seat here is where your battery is located. So you've got a lid on the top here with 3 screws. Take those off. There's one at the back as well, 4 screws. Take those off, and then that will reveal the battery. And there's a main fuse located in there as well. We've got TV point here in this model. With the fridge, we'll power up by holding down the button on the left. Got a warning at the moment. So there's 4 settings on here, sorry. You've got 12 volt when you're connected to the car and the engine's running, gas, mains electric, or automatic. Automatic will switch automatically between them. So if you connect to the car and the engine starts, it will go straight onto the battery. To change between these, press mode. So you go on to 12 volt on the car, gas, mains electric, or auto. To change the temperature, so maximum, you'd want it on maximum in the summer, but you may not need it on maximum in the winter when it's colder. So to change the temperature, just press that temperature button there. So switch off. The fridge has got travel catches, so they slide, so you can open them all the way, like so, and that just enables you to open and close the fridge freely. And then when travelling, just pull them across, and that locks the fridge. We're going back to the wardrobe now. Inside the wardrobe, you've got your TV aerial, There's the amplifier there at the back which is switched on, so you can switch that off when not in use. Most people just leave it on, to be honest. To get a better signal, you can undo the nut at the top, push the aerial up and change the direction at the bottom here. When travelling, put it all the way down and tighten up the nut. There is a label on here that does tell you what position to have the aerial in. Back of the van, we've got the washroom. So you've got your cassette toilet here. So when using the toilet, you want to make sure, so you've got your sample chemicals in here, cap for the cassette. When using it, you want to make sure that it's open. So rotate that handle and that will open the slider. Then use the toilet. Got a button here for the flush. Water will come out on the flush. Close it back up once all the water's gone through. There is a light on here that will tell you when the cassette is full. We've got the wash basin and you've got the shower. So you want to bleed those through at the same time as when you're bleeding through the kitchen sink. And then we've got the shower head. It's the special Eco Camel shower head. Air is mixed with water to give you a better pressure. Pulls the air in through there. Water may come out of there. So you just, it's normal while it gains pressure. So just keep an eye on that. And then you've got smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm here just inside the door. All of the windows have got fly screens and blinds. So fly screens pull down from the top, blackout blinds from the bottom, and they do meet in the middle and clip together with that silver clip there. To release, just pull that clip towards you and it will separate the two. The windows are on ratchets, so we've got buttons to open the catches. I've got 3 settings, so the key is to listen for a click. So click, release, and that will hold. Click, click, release, and then to let the window go back down, you just push it up and it will come back down. There is a ventilation setting which is there, but when in storage and travelling, make sure that they're completely closed, and the button pops out just to let you know that it is secure and locked. So that's the basics of the workings of inside the Basecamp. I want to thank you for choosing MG Caravans when buying your Basecamp. We're always available by phone, email if you have any questions. We hope you have many happy holidays in your new Basecamp.